Okay, so to work on MDG UI modeling, there are certain naming conventions which we need to follow. The importance of the naming convention. In case if you are missing the naming convention, you might say that application would not actually execute. It might give you a shutdown. So there is a relevance with the naming convention in UI modeling of MDG. Now, when we are doing a scratch development of an application, there are some templates which are delivered by SAP. We need to make use of those templates and build a custom solution. This would be almost the same to what we have done yesterday. But we do not do any coding here. That means even a functional consultant, having said that, if he has some development access, functional consultant can build a complete custom solution from a UI perspective. In general settings, in manage UI modeling, we will be focusing only on manage UI configurations. Rest of these nodes are given for the solution developers. Like SAP will be working on them. Even manage UI configuration would be something like a new solution development. We would not really have much requirements on developing a custom solution generally. In manage UI configurations, there is a template called USMD underscore OOP underscore gen and USMD underscore entity underscore value 2. These are the two templates which are given by SAP to develop a solution. Now, USMD entity underscore value 2 is something outdated, which was introduced more or less like, from a solution perspective, which is OIF based. Then later on, they have removed this entity value 2. Now, if you are taking any new SAP solutions or SAP partner solutions, has to follow this USMD OP widget. Apart from that, there are no other templates which they need to consider to do the development. So this is the golden template for us to create. So finance has OP generic template as a base, but they have a few modifications on the base template itself. So that's how they have come MDGF OP gen. Similarly, business partner has some slight changes in the template. So they have came up with BS underscore OP underscore BP. So if at all we are trying to develop a custom solution related to business partner, then we need to go for BS underscore OP underscore BP as a base configuration and we copy it. I'm selecting this, say copy. Let me identify the data model which would be working. We'll take y1 or y3, both. Okay. We'll take y3 data model to create a UF for that. So when we are saying copy template, it has taken the standard template configurations, application configuration, adaptable configuration, and OOP component. This is a standard MDG UI structure which we have seen yesterday. So these are the configurations, the standard configurations from OOP template, and these are the target configurations. Now we cannot create the standard object, so that's where we need to change the target configuration name into Z. I'm saying Y3. Now in this, there is a naming convention. The naming convention of the application configuration should be USMD data model and the OOP name and the entity name. Z USMD underscore DM underscore OOP underscore entity or BO object type. That's a naming convention. To follow the naming convention, we'll say when we are changing suffix, it will add a suffix at the last, version 1, USMD. The data model name is Y3. OOP underscore the BO object type name or entity name. Saying Mara underscore 0. Here for the component configuration, if you look at the difference between the application configuration and component configuration, OOP underscore gen and here gen underscore OOP. That means first we should get Mara, then here OOP underscore Mara, here Mara underscore OOP. We just need to change this component configuration from OVP underscore entry to entry underscore OVP. We just need to swap it. Clear so far? Now I'll say start deep copy. System will ask me a package. Then there are three configurations which are created. Application configuration. Let me note down the steps for this as well parallelly. Then I'll open this application configuration. In which I'll go edit. And here I need to assign a BO type. Now for this, what is the BO type? We'll just get it from the data model name. And click on save. Then we can see the application configuration which is created will be available in manage UI configurations. Automatically assigned to the data model called Y3. That means the BO type, we just assign the BO type. From the BO type, it took the data model automatically internally from some logic. So assignment of BO type to a UI modeling we are seeing now. Earlier we have seen assignment of BO type to the data model and assignment of BO type with the workflow we have seen. Now we are seeing assignment of BO type with the UI modeling. Now we are seeing this communicator status as red color. We need to turn that into green, which we'll do after we complete the UI modeling. Now I'm going to configure component of this application, OP component. Now I got some main page, but we need to decide initial page first. And initial page is responsible to provide a such and such result application. Unless I have a section ID which is automatically created by default, there will come and add search component. In the search component, we need to add the config ID. Tim, please confirm if you are able to speak on a call. Satish?
Yeah, Karthik. Can you hear me?
Oh yes, I can hear you.
Any problem with
Sabir? Yeah. I think can you rejoin? Rejoin Sabir. Now, I'll take the search component naming convention. ZUSMD underscore DM underscore search underscore entity. Now if you notice ZUSMD underscore DM till this part, the naming convention is common in all the application configurations. It varies from a UIBBs and application configurations level. When we are saying search UIBB, it would be search underscore entity. Result UIBB, result underscore entity. Form UIBB, sef underscore entity. I've given some configuration here. Click on configure UIBB. Since configuration does not exist, would you like to create? Yes. It is asking me a feeder class. Now, the feeder class is something that we don't actually create. There are feeder classes which are provided by the MDG framework. Example, if it is such feeder class, we'll just say CL underscore MDG star. Automatically we will see the feeder classes. It will be dquery. CL MDG underscore BS underscore J will be dquery. Now we need to assign the parameters for this. Like we have seen yesterday, we need to go to the general model. every data model, a general model will be automatically generated the moment we generate the structures of it. Now, if you look at this, it is asking to provide dynamic query name, right? And in the general model, we have two dynamic queries. Which dynamic query we need to pick up? So for that we need to see where is the result of this dynamic query is being kept. Result type of query is q underscore result Mara. And here result type of query is Mara. This Mara should match with the query Mara, query object Mara. Here q result Mara is different with the root object called Mara. So that's why we will eliminate this part and we will take dynamic query result Mara. That means when we are doing a search will happen based on this dynamic query object, and the search result will be displayed on this query objects. This is the container to display the search results. Just a moment, I'll confirm this. I'll click on OK. Then we should notice here that automatically the UAVB's related fields have been positioned by the framework automatically. We did not do any drag and drop. Automatically these have been positioned. And we click on save. The search page has been created. And I'll go to again the configuration. I'll give the result UAPB. Result is a list. So I'll open the list component. CL MDG GUIB. We got MDG BAVB result component. So we'll assign this result feeder class. We assign the general component. And we'll say Mara is a root component for this. Now in this, the pending change request is generally a clock indicator. By default, it will come as a input field. I will change this to image. And the fields which we feel like unnecessary, we will remove it. The result UABB is also created. Any questions so far? ZSP underscore Y3 is a general component. There is a question from Sambit. In the component field, what name you have given that SP underscore Y3. This is the general model name. The moment we activate the data model and generate the generated structures, automatically it will generate the general model. So we have given the general model name.
So ZSP is common for all the data models. For general.
ZSP will be all common for all the data models. SP means single processing.
Okay.
So far what we have done, once we copied the naming convention at application configuration level, we assign the BO type code and then create the initial page with such as result UIB base. Once these two UABBs are assigned, then we need to go with wiring. Wiring is a concept to pass the information between two UABBs. Let's say if I search using selections UABB, the result should be automatically derived based on the selection criteria. So result is linked with search. And when I click on the result, one of the record, automatically the main page will open. That means the main page is dependent on a search result page. So there is a mutual dependencies between the UIBBs and the pages. So wiring is a concept. We will link those UIBBs, then automatically the data will pass between these UIBBs. So I'm adding a wire. I'm taking a result component here, for which the source of result is such component. Right? For result, always the source is such component. So we have some such connectors, port identifiers and port types. Which value we have to give here? This is something we not need to explore. There are some class names which are proposed by SAP. From search UI to search list, this is the class name, and port type is collection, port identifier is standard. Collection and port identifier is standard. And the connector class will be, let's copy the connector class. CL underscore FPM underscore connector underscore board underscore identity. This is the wiring which we established between two different UAVs. Now again I repeat, wiring is a concept which is used to share the data between two different UAVs. How does the data get stored? Data gets shared using this connector class. This connector class will take the information from the source component and it will pass that information to the target component.
Karthik, can we see one example here?
Yes, we will see that.
So that will be easy to understand. Thank you.
Where is the target component? The target component is nothing but the current component. Here, this one. For this, the source component is a search component. If you go to my schema here, the source is search and the target component or so-called as current component is result. So this is an application which we have created. So we need to bring this application into MDG. This is an independent application. Let's say you will try to execute this application. There is an easy possibility that it won't work. Some inconsistency is there, that's okay. So now, if you remember, okay, so let's do that part later. I'll design the main page. In the main page, we need to have a form component. For what? To give the basic details of a material. ZUSMD underscore Y3 underscore if, what is the naming convention? If underscore mana. ZSP underscore Y3. Here we will select the root object name. Mara is an entity. We'll select Mara. And this is editable. So I'll select the editable component. Then automatically I see some of the fields have been positioned here. Fields which I feel not required, I'll delete them. Click on save. Now this is the main page, basic materials. So if we are creating a new material, it has to come from the search page, search result. That's where the option of new material creation is available, right? The new button. Or if you want to display the existing material, that should be from the result page. So result page will become always the source for my main page. So I'll go to where I will add the wire name. Here I select the Mara main page UABB. For this I am saying the source component would be result. And what is the port type and port identifier? This again comes from the document. Such list to wire main form, it will be bool underscore relationship, it's lead underscore, port type is lead selection and port identifier is standard. Now save. The wiring for this main UABB is also established. Now this is something designing of search page and main page is complete. Now there is something called communicator settings. We'll go back to manage UI configurations. Here we have the communicator settings, red color. Now in this, we'll go and add the CRYs. The moment we add the CRYs, it will add the change request to UABB. So generally where the change request to UABB should be available? In a search page or in the main page?
Main page.
Main page, right? So we need to take the main page ID. It is main page. And we should take the component name for it. What is the main page source component? It should be generally type 1 entity related UABB configuration. So for us, the Mara is a source component, right in this? So this is the source component. Here, one thing we need to notice that the source component name here and the source component name here has a small difference. We are missing GL2. We just need to copy this component name and assign it here, GL2. This is something we need to make a note. Save. Now if we open MDG UI configurations, refresh, you can see that red color is turned into green. Now the UI configuration for our custom model is done. Why it is needed? So what we have done in this, we have assigned the change request UIBB to the main page. So to create a CR UIBB, we will not design the data entity level. That's something communicator settings level, we'll add the change request UIBB. That's the reason we get this communicator settings. Okay. Now, why communicator settings? That's what I was explaining. Communicator settings are required to bring the change request UIBB onto the main page. Which one is CR UIBB? I didn't get your question.
So CR UIBB we have not created, right? So which one will become as a CR UIBB? Out of search for main
So
result.
here in search screen, which one is in search screen? There is no CR UIBB. Shabir. The CR UIBB should come in the main screen. That's why we have given it as a main. Okay. So this will have its own UIBB name. It's not like which one. This is something new UIBB configuration with this name CR main. This will be created in the main page. So let's hold questions for a couple of minutes. The moment we complete the configuration, I think you'll have a complete view about it. Now, if you remember, when we are doing process modeling, we have skipped two parts, this configuration and this configuration. This is something related to UI. So since now we have completed the UI definitions, we'll come and do this configuration. So let me understand what is the business activity for Y3 data model. I don't think we have a business activity for Y3 data model. Yeah. M01 is a business activity. So this UI has developed semantically based on some feeder classes. Now if some UI has performed an action, it has to be part of the process. Let's say someone is creating new, it should be part of the process modeling. It has to automatically create the change request. For that it has to understand what is the change request type for it. So to do that, we need to include these UIs into the process modeling. we are linking the UI application we have the beaver type y3 underscore Mara and logical action create. Now there is something called current UI application, current UI configuration, target UI application and target UI configuration. Now what is the current UI application? Example, now this is one application. If I click on search business partner, this is the target UI application which is coming. What was my current UI application previously? It was home page of the business partner. That was the current. From there, when I click on search, it has come to this target page. So what is a target page is defined based on the source page. So we are saying source can be anything, doesn't matter. But if someone is actually trying to create an action called create, we are saying the action will be then the action will be this one. And business activity is MM01 is a business activity. Is this configuration clear? When someone is trying to click on create logical action, it will trigger this UI application and UI target application name and target configuration name by automatically triggering the business activity called MM01. Similarly, we need to assign the logical action with the business activity here again. Right. So even the business activity with the logical actions and the UI configuration has been created. Now let's try to execute this application. test. I got one search page. When I click new, I think something is missing. State 22. Do we need to first give the value and such? Yes, so that's the best practice, Sambi. Before we create any new, first we need to search for the record whether it's existing or not. If not, only then we'll go and create a new one. There is no difference here. Almost we have given same. Given these two are same. Let me log out and log in. So this is how the application would behave. I don't understand where it went wrong. Sometimes even if we do something in between, it won't actually fit in the buffers. So what we need to do is completely delete the application and do it again. think again I need to redo this application. So I'll just park this discussion here because I need to again redo the same application one more time and see where exactly it went wrong. I don't feel anything is wrong as of now. The working application which I'm using as a reference here has the same configurations to the one which we have done. I think somewhere it is not identifying it. It might be an issue with the buffers or it might be issue with somewhere in the configuration also. So I'll identify that and I'll come back. But before that, I just wanted to see your understanding about this UI modeling. What we are doing, where we are doing, how we are getting these configurations. Any questions on this? Now if you ask me how you are getting these class names, what is the reference for you? The reference for me would be the standard configuration guide. So here we will be having some custom object. From this custom object development, in the UI modeling, you can see all the names, whatever we are discussing in between, connector class names, component names, and so far so forth. So we have replaced form ABB with GL2 in the communicated settings. So this is talking about it. Okay, so there's a question from Shabit, how to decide when to copy and when to enhance. Even that question is also answered in the next coming, I should say, slide. When to create a copy, when to enhance. Finding a right way of doing adaptation. Only if fine-tuning is necessary in an application, then we go for customizing. Example, label changes. If there is a complete new development required, almost let's say your 50% of your application is getting changed or more than 50, then it's a new copy. Say very parts of application is being changed, 30% of the changes, 20% of the changes, then you'll go for enhancement. Now generally we do not go for a copy for any standard applications. We will go only with an enhancement because you don't see any out of the box solutions will be customized 50%. No, that's not the case. Okay, so here I would like to park the discussions. I'm open for any questions. let's have the questionnaire, and then today I think that part was not success, the complete showcasing the configuration. I think the steps almost same. There might be somewhere some config issue, or it might be a buffer issue. I'll rectify it offline, and again let's have a discussion on it. What went wrong?
Can we check this on next coming Saturday weekend? Do we
Yes,
have
we
class
can.
on this?
We have.
Okay.
Yeah. What you were showing was a copy, or I was showing a copy. I'm not showing enhancement, I'm showing a copy.
Karthik, can you share the link in the chat window about the configuration, what is shown in the SAP?
This part.
Yeah.
So we have completed almost 60% of the course. Main 50% would be data modeling and process modeling. We are into now UI modeling.
So Karthik, if you can able to tell like which all the topics left now?
So the topics left are, after UI modeling there is data replication.
Okay.
And data quality, I mean to say search and duplicate checks. And data mask changes, file upload, mask change. The coding and troubleshooting. All these are, I should say, in a day there will be one or two topics which will be closed. All the rest of the things are very small. Only UI modeling would take around 2 sessions.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Karthik, just do one
If
thing.
you have a question, by what time we'll complete the batch? I think by 18th Jan or 19th Jan we'll be closing this maximum, including all the buffers. Okay. Yeah.
Karthik, we are not covering BP and all that.
That we will be. It's like solution perspective we will be covering. Let's say if you have a BP data model, how the BP data model solution is different compared to other things. But doing all this exercise will be same what you will be doing in BP also. There won't be any differences. All are related, all are running on the same platform, right?
Okay.
Yeah. There are some, perceptions on the BP, like we should have understanding on CBI and all the things. So just to clarify those things, we will have a solution specific discussion.
Okay.
Yeah. There we'll discuss about what is CVI, how the CVI will be created, configured, who will be doing it, prerequisites, versions.
So no, just one thing that if you'll take the BP will be the middleware between, like it holds the data, correct? For customer vendor. Okay, so customer vendor relationships and all that. So just out of like there will be some configuration, correct, for BP also?
See
Or
that, yes, there is some configuration for the BP. The prerequisite for someone to create an MDG for BP is, first of all, the BP, there is a T code called BP.
correct, I
Right?
know.
Using
Yes,
the BP T code, should be able to create customer and vendor.
correct.
If that is happening, then MDG
Mhm.
can automatically govern the business process. If that configuration does not exist, if that synchronization is not happening, then MDG will not work. Because the fundamental concept of MDG is someone should be able to create the master data in the traditional transactions. If they are trying to create it, MDG will come and govern it.
So you are telling that BP is the part of while we are establishing the connection, like when we are establishing the MDG system, so BP will be configured with the standard configurations itself.
Correct.
There will be no custom thing in that case.
There won't be any custom.
Okay.
Okay. There are a few questions. Yes.
Customer vendor
There
integration
are,
or something. Okay.
that's what I'm saying. This customer vendor integration is part of an ECC configuration.
Oh,
Yeah, that does not fall under MDG. And we are not the right persons to decide about CVA. That is something in SAP Finance, SD, Marketing, these three people will come and sit, have a decision, and then they will do a CVA configuration.
so where is the technical consultant role here? Because we never use FPM, new FPM application creation or something like that.
Well, the technical role will come like, we are discussing about validations, derivations in future. Even this custom object development, this requires developer access,
Okay, because
the one which we are doing.
you say MDG technical consultant, the people are asking FPM, more into FPM. Okay, that
Right.
means MDG FPM or complete FPM, that's what you showed, right?
No, the one which we are discussing, only that part you should be able to understand.
Only MDG related.
MDG related, yeah.
Okay. No coding is available in that, no need to do any coding, right? So
No, no, we are not doing any coding, no.
so that's what then functional can create that, right? So where is the exact technical role in
He can
FPM?
create it until and unless there are no changes, no enhancements required. Now this is looking as a configuration for them, right?
Yeah.
There are some class names, the bool connector names. They don't understand what is a bool connector. If something is getting an issue, let's say like how I got an issue here. They cannot go and start debug and understand, troubleshoot and then come back.
Okay.
If the configurations are fair and enough, you start the configuration and it's a plug and play, they can do it. But some investigation requires they can't do it. And this is not a functional activity to configure this application. This requires a developer rule, right?
Yeah.
So this is a developer activity. For functionals, all they need to understand is how these UAVs are working, because generally when they are designing the functional specs in ECC, they will go and mention the T code name, they will go and mention the screen name, and what is a master table name. They go to technical attributes, identify the screen field name and table name, and then they mention all these things in a functional spec.
Right.
Similarly, in MDG, if they are doing a functional spec, they should be able to understand which application name they have to do enhancement, under which page they have to see the new enhancement, is it the main page or edit page. To give those details, they would require this understanding.
Karthik, will it be possible to share one FD and technical design document for any of the requirement so that we can understand what exactly the content?
I can provide.
Yeah, thank you.
Karthik, hello. I have some doubts and I have listed down in a Word file. Can I send it to you and you can comment on it and send it back to me? Can I send it to you via email?
I think you send it to Accusoft email. They will
Yes, yes,
forward
yes.
it to me. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's catch up next week. Next week we'll be doing adaptation CBA, role-based adaptation, and this part of UI model. We'll complete this. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.